Hey guys, I'm Krista, and this is my big sister Stacey.
And this is Sister Social Call. Well, hey, Sissy.
Hey sis, how's it going?
It's great. It's great. Good Friday. So happy Good Friday.
It is Good Friday. Happy Easter weekend to you.
What's happening today for you?
What's happening? Well, I got up and I did a workout, and then I was watering all my little seedling plants because I'll be gone for a few days this weekend. And then we're just recording the podcast, and I'm gonna head to the city, grab some groceries, and then I'm going to the ranch for the weekend, and then we're doing Easter tomorrow at Jay's place, our brother. So I got to make some desserts for that. Anyways, what about you? What are you up to today? What's happening?
Yeah, I got up and I went to the gym at 5 my class was at 6. So I was up at 5:14 this morning. So that was good to get that out of the way. Being on holidays for the week, I needed to get back to the gym. I was feeling sluggish from all the food and some beverages I consumed. So just feeling like it was time to get back to the gym, and getting spring cleaning is starting.
Convenient that you mentioned spring cleaning, because guess what? That's what this entire episode is going to be about. I feel we're probably all in that mode of getting the spring cleaning happening. We're all getting anxious to crack the windows open, get the fresh air in, clean the house, get the yard cleaned up, clean up those garden beds, all that stuff. So we probably do spring cleaning in very different ways. So Stace, why don't you talk to us a little bit about the spring cleaning action that's happening? And I'll chime in on this a little bit later.
Sure. I'm going to talk a little bit about the health and wellness benefits of spring cleaning, and then I'm going to share what I am doing for spring cleanings. It is that time of year when I get that feeling like I need to start to open the windows and start organizing. And there's actually proven benefit beyond a good clean house to spring cleanings. Do you remember the commercial with Hal Johnson and Joanne McLeod from Participation? Do you remember those, sis?
I remember them because they were always wearing those 80s windbreaker tracksuits. But that's about the only thing. Like, it's like, get fit and have fun with Hal Johnson and Joanne McLeod.
That's right. But Participation actually has information on their website about the health and wellness benefits of spring cleaning. So the first one that they cite is it increases your physical activity levels. Well, this shouldn't come as a surprise that you're lifting, bending, and doing all types of activities that you might not normally do on a day-to-day basis when you're spring cleaning, because you're just getting into the nooks and crannies of the house.
You get a little bit of clutter going on over the winter, because sometimes, like for me, for instance, not that I store a lot of stuff downstairs, but I have a crawl space, but you have to access it from the outside. So in the winter time, I just start piling things up inside. Not a ton, but there is things that do, because I don't want to go downstairs and go in there in the winter.
So housework and light chores work different muscle groups than what you're probably used to, and can raise your heart rate, which can improve your overall strength and cardiovascular health and lower your risk of heart disease. Spring cleaning can improve your mental health, and I think this is probably the one that a lot of people can really relate to, because it just feels so darn good sorting through, reorganizing, throwing out, donating, and recycling items that no longer serve you anymore. So that can bring you a feeling that is freeing and refreshing, and it leaves more space in your life, for which sparks joy and pleasure. Research has shown that clutter-free living spaces positively affect people's moods. One study found that an extra hour of cleaning a week, the average study participant's happiness increased by 53%.
I'm not surprised by that, honestly. The ranch house can get pretty cluttery, and it is the first thing I always have to do when I get to the ranch. Is I always have to do like the Krista clean, because I need it to be that way before I can even relax. Which is fine. It's fine. And I don't fault Mark for it at all. We're very different people, and his life is different. He's busy fixing tractors. Well, I don't do that. We live very differently in that sense. So it's like, I need to, and I've had to tell him, do not get on my case when I get here. It's what I do. Let me do my thing. So I can totally appreciate that, for sure.
Other research has shown that just doing 20 minutes of housework can lower feelings of anxiety and stress by up to 20%. So I think that speaks exactly to what you're talking about when you arrive at Mark's.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
These findings may be partly explained by the fact that physical activity involved in spring cleaning causes our bodies to release endorphins and serotonin, feel-good brain chemicals that can improve your mood and reduce our anxiety and stress levels.
Uh-huh.
Another benefit of spring cleaning, it makes you more focused and productive. So research has found that clutter significantly reduces the brain's processing ability and that people in disorganized spaces are less productive.
Mm.
Other research shows that clutter can be visually distracting and act as a reminder of unfinished tasks and chores. When you're less distracted by surrounding chaos or clutter, you free up mental space, letting you concentrate on a given task more fully. That's because decluttering can help you clear your head and focus better. So if you work or study at home, make your space neat and tidy to eliminate distractions during your workday and to help improve your focus and motivation. Well, how many times have I talked about my messy office? So many times, and that I need to clean it up. And that is a big part of why I need to clean it up regularly, is to stay focused.
I am very much the same at my house. I don't have a lot of stuff. It's fairly minimal. Like my biggest thing that I think I have are books, but I've even gotten really good at it's sharing those with people or donating. Even for me, when I come home every week from the farm, I have to do a clean, a tidy, a get ready for the week because I do work long days. And for me, I know that if I get organized and get my house ready, just simple tidying, cleaning, getting everything, then it doesn't matter what happens throughout the week. It's fine because everything at home is okay. So I could be at work for a 12-hour day and know that I have nothing to do when I get home. Like I can just come home and relax because I've already done it to start my week. I start my week like that, and then I usually finish the week before I go to the farm. I always usually give it a good once over again. I've never really been like a super organized person, but I just find the less stuff I have, the less I have to take care of. The older I get, the more it has to be like that. For my brain. It is for my brain. So when you say that, it's totally spot on.
Well, here's another benefit. It supports your immune system. So if you have seasonal allergies, it might not just be pollen causing you sniffles and sneezes. It could be the mold, mildew, dust, and pet dander that may have built up in your home over winter when there's less air circulation. So having a clean home can help you breathe better by preventing respiratory problems and supporting a healthy immune system.
Oh my gosh, that's like hilarious because we've got a part husky dog at the ranch, 3 cats, it's dusty. It's no freaking wonder I've had asthma for a long time, but I got to spend more time getting in the nooks and crannies around there.
Yeah. The website says, as you go about your spring cleaning, dust your furniture, baseboards, railings, windowsills, the tops of mirrors, frames, lights, and lamps, and other spots that are difficult to reach. So it's like those weird places that you don't clean regularly.
Mark got me a handy tool for this, and it is freaking awesome. I know everybody's like, oh, your man gets you a vacuum, like shame on him. But he knows that I'm so crazy about the fur, the hair, and that I do. I have compromised lung function. And so he got me this little handheld battery operated vacuum, but it's a Milwaukee one, so it's high powered. And I can just walk around the house with this thing, and it's got the extension nozzle on there, and it gets in all the corners. Like, honestly, the house has never been in better shape as far as hair and dust goes because I just tootle around with that thing like all the time, every day. It's, you don't have to bust out the big old vacuum. It is so good that I was like, I need one of these for my house. And then he bought me one for Christmas for my house here. Yeah, I freaking love it. I can just bust it out all the time. It's so good.
Nice. Well, and one last benefit of spring cleaning, it lowers your risk of injury. So it's not surprising that home with too much clutter raises your risk of injury for you, your family members, housemates, and visitors. So having a clutter-free living space makes bumps, trips, slips, and falls less likely. This is especially important in homes where older adults live, as falls are the leading cause of injury-related hospitalizations and injury deaths for those 65 or older in Canada. So remove items like bags, shoes, and sports equipment from hallways, staircases, and pathways, and secure rugs and stick cords and wires to baseboards to prevent tripping. So I thought that was all really important, good little reminders for as we're starting to get into spring cleaning.
If you came into my spare room right now, where I'm recording this podcast, you would see that I break all those suggestions. I have a fan with the cord strung across the room, and I have to walk over every time I walk in the door. Next year, I'll have it set up better. It'll be a different story. Anyways, you really don't have a problem here. Your guys' house is pretty organized and clean, I would say.
Well, yeah, and I don't disagree with you on that, sis. Like, we do keep a pretty tidy ship around here, like very organized. Sean is immaculate with his things, and so everything has a spot. It's very organized, it's very tidy in our home. But I do still really like to do a good deep clean at least once a year. And so I already started with a good purge, and that happened when we got our new couch. It came in a few weeks ago in March, and we didn't have space for these 2 shelving units anymore. So that began the spring purge. Those 2 shelving units had to go, and all the things on it either had to go or find a new home. And I like to give those away to my friends and family first, and then whatever they don't take, to donate it or sell it on the marketplace. I only like to sell things that are a little bit bigger on marketplace because I don't have the energy for going back and forth with folks.
I am taking an entire set of dishes from you for the ranch, and then 2 bedside table lamps, because I have a crappy lamp in my bedroom right now, and I can put one of these lamps on either side of my bed, which I think will be great. So I got those coming as well from your purge.
Yeah. And I think my focus for the rest of like spring purging will be in our kitchen, going through the 2 pantries and the drawers. Although I know our drawers, like, everything has its use and it has its space. So I don't think we'll have too much to donate, but it'll be just good to get everything out of the drawers and give them a vacuum out and wipe down.
Yeah, that's something that I really enjoy too. For me, what I love when I do the cupboards and stuff is I love to pull everything out, consolidate like spices and things that you have doubles of or whatever. And then I love to, yes, wash everything. Like, get a bucket and some vinegar and water and give everything a good solid scrub down, because I do that probably only once a year as well. But that usually happens for me in the dead of winter, to be honest, because right now is a different time for me. But I'll speak to that in a bit.
I didn't actually know how to deep clean until during COVID. And I started following Go Clean Co. And I didn't know how to clean until I started watching their videos. And their whole philosophy is powder Tide, bleach, and hot water. And you can't use bleach on everything because it could damage pieces. But holy cow, I know how to clean above my cupboards now that I've been watching their videos. They do a spring clean challenge and a fall cleaning challenge. So they do it twice a year, but we don't have kids. We don't have dogs. So I feel like some of the things I don't need to do twice a year. I feel like if I can get a good cleaning once a year, then that's good enough. Sean is our primary cleaner in our house. He likes to clean about once a week, and he does a great job, top to bottom, dust, vacuum, mop, and like daily he's cleaning the kitchen. But I don't clean with him. We don't have the same cleaning philosophy. So he does the day to day, and you'll find me being the person standing on the countertops or on a ladder doing the deep cleans.
I am the cleaner of all the houses. I am a sole cleaner. I used to have I used to pay somebody to clean my house, and then she kind of was dialing back her business, so I got punted. And then I never acquired somebody else. And I just felt I'm not here all that much, so I can do a good deep clean in pretty much a day. And that's washing everything. That's washing walls. I get the music cranked. I get going, in the sports bra and shorts, and just get down in the house and go to town. So I can do it in pretty much a day. And you know what? It feels good to do that for me now, so I don't mind that. But, at the farm, it's a little bit more involved, and it's a bit of a challenge for me to get it super organized. But my spring cleaning is quite a bit different because I try to do those cleaning things in the wintertime because I am an outdoor enthusiast. I don't want to be inside if it's nice out. I want to be outside in my garden. I want to be doing that stuff. I want to be in my yard, my garden, outside, hiking, picking berries, picking hazelnut, like whatever it is. I don't want to be inside. So at this time of the year, it is major outdoor garden yard cleanup for me. Because what happens in the springtime or in the fall, I typically leave as much organic matter in the gardens, so it decomposes back into the earth, but then some things don't decompose, and so you have to clean all that up to be able to plant again. So I have to do that. plus whatever leaves I didn't get cleaned up in the fall. Like those are all, I just noticed on my grass here at home, it's like all flattened out by all the leaves and from the snow and the snow mold and everything. So I got to get out there and rake some stuff up, clean up the garden beds, just do all that. So that's kind of my spring clean instead of so much being in the house. Like I try to do that stuff in the winter so that when it comes garden season, I can just be full on outside. Last weekend, I actually got a pretty good clean on my house in general. I'll probably do a little bit more when the days are kind of crappy. And that's the other thing too. I capitalize on rain days for the inside stuff. As soon as it get like now it's nice out. And so Stacey and I were chatting before and she said, are you going to be getting in the garden this week? And I said, well, yeah, absolutely. And at the farm, I have some big goals and some big plans for the farm this year. Anyways, yeah. So I think that's going to pretty much do it for us on our whole spring cleanup.
Outdoor spring cleaning starts for me today. I'm going to start one of our balconies is cleaning that off. So I'm pretty stoked about getting outside today to do that.
Well, once I get to the farm, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start rustling around looking for perennials that are popping up because this is the time of year. And I've been out there just like Inspector Gadget the last couple of weeks because I'm just like, I can see the rhubarb already starting. So nice. That's amazing. But I am for sure going to get out there as soon as I get there and check around and see. Maybe it's dried up a lot. Who knows? But I won't be getting to the farm till later today. So I likely won't have a ton of time to be in the garden, but I'm going hunting. I want to see if the peonies are coming up and if that rhubarb's any taller.
Perfect. Well, sis, why don't we move on to our peaks, pits, and plans for the week? Why don't you start this week?
Okay. Well, I didn't have any pits, and then not yesterday, the day before, I got home from work and there was a mouse in my house. And so fine, like I live out in the country. It happens. I don't care. I have a cat. He doesn't kill them. He just plays with them. So it's a whole freaking thing. Anyways, he was up all night and the other night I could hear him in my grow room with all my plants, like all my seedlings. And I could hear him like stepping on all the trays. And I just thought, oh my gosh, when I get up in the morning, all my plants are going to be everywhere. Well, fine. And then in the morning I get up, this was yesterday morning, I get up and here he's still chasing the mouse around. So he's been at it for about 24 hours. And I had to go to work. So I go to the hardware store and I get the sticky traps. I know not everybody likes those, but I prefer them. But anyways, we had a team effort and we got the mouse onto the sticky trap and into the bag and into the garbage. Great. But I was just like, Tex, this is your one and only job. And I said to him, I just said to Mom and Stacey last night, like, he needs to be getting the goal, not the assist here. He is the freaking cat, the mouser. I do not like them. It was a pit because we had a mouse, peak because we team efforted and got her dealt with. And that's like no big deal. That's just part of being in the country. I guess another pit. Last night I left out some ranunculus outside on my deck because I didn't realize it was going to get so cold and I froze them all.
Oh, shoot.
So they can handle some cold. I don't know if they'll bounce back because they were feeling pretty frozen today. So I don't know if they'll bounce back, but the greenery might die off, but they're these little corms. So they might shoot off some new greenery. I don't know. I might have screwed them up. I don't have tons of them, but I saved my corms from last year and I thought I would try them. So that was a fail. But anyway, my peaks. Well, I did the meal prep class last Saturday. It was the burrito one and that was a lot of fun. So that was really great. We made 18 burritos and they were massive. That was good. My plants, if you guys could see my grow room, everything is really growing exceptionally well. And I'm very happy about it. It's very green in here. So I'm pumped about that. So anyhow, it was my final women's group this week, my You Make Sense women's group. And it was so wonderful and amazing. I'm still trying to figure out words to describe what I experienced over the 12 weeks of our women's group. I can't quite figure it out. And in our class, we've talked about this, and there's a word called ineffable. And that means there's just no words to describe the class, but it'll come to me one of these days. I've been thinking lots about it and the experience and the changes and the growth and everything that I've experienced. And it'll all come to me and I'll be able to talk to you guys about it. In fact, Christine, who's the facilitator, who's the somatic practitioner I see, she offered to be on our podcast. People have asked me a lot about it. And, but I haven't talked too much in depth about what this women's group has been about. And I think it'll be perfect to have Christine on to deep dive into that and the whole experience of it all. And I can't wait, Stacey, for you to meet her. She's like a sister. Honestly, when I went into the
Oh.
class this week, she gave me, we always hug each other. Everybody hugs each other when they get into class. And she's like, I swear you were my sister in a past life. And I said, are you sure we're not right now? Because
Aw.
she feels like that to me. Like she really, truly does. So that'll be amazing. Anyways, and then so my plans for the week, we're gonna do Easter at my brother's place tomorrow. So hopefully everything at the ranch goes smooth. I'm sure it will be. Calving season's been going really, really well. My car is in getting fixed from my tractor incident. And so I'm hopeful that it will be fixed. They messaged me yesterday to say that they found more damage. So it'll probably be done by Wednesday or Thursday this week. So they had to order in some more parts. But that's okay. I'm happy they're fixing it. So my car is not going to look like the Ranch Rocket. It's going to look maybe like a Ranch Royce. Like a Royals Royce, but the Ranch Royce.
Nice.
Anyways, and then yeah, I'm just gonna work on, like I said, working in the garden at the farm and here at my house this week. I'm gonna try to do a little bit of that, and I'll have this project. I need to stain my deck here at home. So, but first I have to sand off this old, not even old, it's garbage stain. I asked for something that wasn't like this. When I put it on, I was hopeful that it would absorb into the wood, and it absolutely did not. And I hate it, and it drives me nuts. So I have to sand it all off, and then I have to get some Thompson's water seal and do my deck. So if there's a little bit of time this week, I'm hopeful to start on at least the sanding part of it. So it's going to be a project. I'm dreading it, but anyway, so that's it for me. A pretty regular week. I'll be working every day, long days. It's springtime, so but it's good. I'm happy for it. So what about you, sis? You had a crazy, amazing week, so I haven't even heard all about it. So I'm excited to hear about what you got up to with your friend this week.
Yeah, so Christy and I recorded last Friday, and it was my birthday. And then Sean brought me home dinner. So we had a nice sushi dinner for my birthday. And then the next morning I got up and my friend Christy Farn, she's at Gucci Farn, also affectionately known as the unofficial mayor of Regina, flew out to visit me for my birthday. And we decided we would do something I've been affectionately calling the Hot Ladies and Hot Springs road trip. So there's some hot springs that are on the other side of the Kootenays that I've wanted to go to since I've moved out here and just haven't had the time or the right person to do that little trip with. And so we drove from Cranbrook. That's where I picked up Christy, in Cranbrook. And then we drove to Nelson, British Columbia. Now, Nelson is a great town to visit. It is got incredible food. It's on a lake. So there's that kind of winter or summer sports if you're there in the summertime with boating, but I'm sure it'd be a great beach town in the summertime also. Walked around, did some shopping, ate great food. It was a lovely way to start our little vacation. We stayed in a boutique hotel, and the breakfast that was included was so good. Obviously you pay for it in your price, but it was so good. We hung on Nelson for a couple days, loved every minute of it. And then on Monday morning, we got up and started driving. And our first stop was at Ainsworth Hot Springs. And we did a quick hour and 15 minute soak there. The unique thing about this hot springs is they have a cave that you can swim into. And that's where some of the hottest water is inside the cave. But it's like totally dark. Like some of the pictures, you can see people like floating in lightness. There's a bit of lightness at the entrance and exit of the cave, but it's not light in there. The only light is along the bottom, so you can kind of get yourself around.
That sounds really interesting.
I went in there a couple times. They had a cold plunge. I liked a cold plunge. That was barely above freezing. I think they said it was 3 to 5 degrees, but that was too cold plungy for me. And then they had like a beautiful, like a pool that like overlooked the mountains, and it was a beautiful view. So that was Ainsworth. And then after Ainsworth, we did the drive to Nakusp, but we made a couple stops. We stopped in Caslow and had lunch there and walked their little main street. And they have a paddle wheel boat in the downtown. It's just a lovely little community. Had a great lunch at the brewery, some beer, my favorite thing. And then we drove to a place called New Denver. And New Denver has a national historic site. It's called the Nakai Internment Memorial. And so this is a dark part of Canadian history where Japanese people were interred in Canada during World War II. Most of them were Canadian citizens. New Denver has the only internment camp still standing because after the war they were raised. The government wanted to hide evidence of internment camps, but
wow, that is amazing.
But it was a very dark time in Canadian history, and yeah, it was good to go, but heavy on the heart. Anyhow, so we went to New Denver, and then we drove to Nakusp. Nothing in the downtown area or the beach area really spoke to us, so we just grabbed some groceries because we weren't staying right in town. We were staying at the Nakusp Hot Springs Resort, which is about 20 minutes out of town, up a mountain.
Okay.
And so we grabbed some food for breakfast and had supper downtown Nakusp, and then drove to our Nakusp Hot Springs Resort. We were staying in it on the backside of an A-frame, and it was going from a boutique hotel in Nelson to an A-frame. Well, it was a pretty big change, but it was fine enough to stay for a night. The hot springs, it was a big circle pool, and 1/3 of the circle was the hot springs, and the other 2/3 was warm pool, and it got my bronze award. Yeah, it was okay. It was just not like, it wasn't like spa-like experience. It was much more rustic outdoor experience. So it's hot springs, and I looked forward to leaving there next morning. So we did. And on our way to Halcyon Hot Springs, we stopped at a beautiful waterfall on the side of the road. That was pretty fun to see. And then we drove to Halcyon, and that was 5-star. We got in there and spa music playing, and it was beautiful, spectacular. And I can't wait to actually go there for 2 nights and really get deep into the amenities. So that got my gold medal, a visit for hot springs. Silver went to Ainsworth with the caves, and bronze went to Nakusp. So after we went to Halcyon Hot Springs, we drove up to Revelstoke. We had to take an inland ferry.
Cool.
Yeah, that was my first time ever doing an inland ferry. And then, yeah, drove up to Revelstoke, and just similar to Nelson, it had great food, nice little shopping downtown. Revelstoke was good. We slept over at the Fairfield Marriott Hotel, and that was just a classic hotel.
Yeah.
And then we drove home the next morning, stopped in Golden, had lunch, and then drove all the way down here. And then that ended our Hot Ladies and Hot Springs road trip, and it was awesome.
I like it. That sounds like a great time.
Yeah, it really was. Christy Farn is so funny. She's a great travel companion. She is in her previous life was a travel agent, so she knows how to travel, that lady.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. She would.
Yeah. So,
right
yeah.
on.
And for pits, obviously I have none. I have 0 pits. And plans this week, we have company coming again, which is awesome. Another one of the biking boys is coming out today. We will host Easter dinner on Sunday. I realized that I'm feeding my guests the same thing I fed them for Christmas.
Get the same around here.
Yep, turkey. Doing turkey.
They likely won't remember that, I bet.
Oh, I told them. I said, I'm sorry. I realized I'm making you the same thing. I only realized that this morning, though. So I'm going with it. Then other plans this week, I am going to go outside after we record and wash the first balcony and get her cleaned up so we can sit outside on the balcony while we barbecue foods this weekend. Yeah. And I still have a few more days off. I have Easter Monday off. It's a stat here. Okay. So I have Easter Monday off, and then I usually flex on Mondays for work, so I get to take Tuesday off because Monday's a stat. So I'm off on Tuesday.
Well, that is absolutely glorious.
So I got like plans around here. I am traveling, not this weekend, obviously, but next weekend. So I need to get that sorted out too. And not too many plans for his birthday because it's Easter. Whatever he wants to do. We'll just spend some quality time together. Oh. Yeah. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up. Why don't you give our flowers to everybody?
Oh, we want to give a shout out to all of you guys for listening to the podcast, for downloading. You guys are amazing. We've had great feedback as usual. Honestly, keep on keeping on. Our plan is to keep going on with 1 episode a week. Like, we're really enjoying it. It works around our schedule. Like, Stacey's doing some traveling, so we can adjust when we record. So we're going to stick with it. So we hope you guys continue to follow along. We appreciate it all. If you like the episodes, definitely share them with your pals. That's how we get more downloads, and tell everybody that you know about us. And yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. And then if you want to find us on social media, Sisters Social Call is on Instagram, so you can find us on there. You can find Stacey on LinkedIn and Facebook, and you can find myself on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, all of those things. And yeah, Thank you guys so much. We look forward to checking in with you guys next time.
Thanks, everybody. Love you, sis.
Love you, sis. Oh, diggity.